Assalamualaikum and welcome to another episode of Zealfit TV. Today we're going to talk about the new Eleiko Loadable Dumbbell. Alhamdulillah, we actually got our pair of Eleiko Loadable Dumbbell a couple of weeks ago, and ever since we've been wanting to make this video. Now I get a lot of questions from customers about this loadable dumbbell, and sometimes it's very difficult when I've not even seen it myself. So now that it's in front of me right now, it's easy to answer all those questions that the customers might have. The most questions that I got from customers is whether or not, how much weight can you actually load onto a single dumbbell? It's not very obvious from the official name of this dumbbell when you buy them in set, which is Eleiko Loadable Dumbbell set, either powerlifting disc, volcano disc, or the IWF rubber coated discs. So a lot of people don't know whether it's like, can you fit 40 kgs on the dumbbell, or is it 40 kgs total with a pair of dumbbells, or is 40 kg total including the dumbbell? So we're going to answer that question today, hopefully, inshallah. Okay, first of all, let's just run through the specs of the dumbbell. The length of the dumbbell itself is 436, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just quickly check it. Yeah, it's 436 mm, and the loadable sleeve is actually 141 mm. The grip length is 130 mm, and the diameter, the grip diameter is 28 mm, which is similar to the XF bar 20 kg. In terms of the grip diameter itself, I guess it's different from what you find in most of Eleiko's dumbbell, especially the Evo dumbbells. They're thicker, as I mentioned in my previous video. Even the Volcano dumbbells and also the XF dumbbells, it has a more rounded, oval shape and thicker grip. Similarly with the the Volcano disc dumbbells, they're also quite thick. So whether or not it's something that affects your dumbbell training, that's I wouldn't know. Okay, so but it does feel good in my hand. So, and I don't think it's going to play too big of a role, I suppose, in terms of the quality of your dumbbell workouts. Okay, now one of the features of the dumbbell is that it spins. I'll show you. See, yeah. So it spins, and it's quite a smooth spin. Okay, not as smooth as the rotating Evo dumbbells, but it's almost like you're actually buying a short Eleiko barbell with this, to be honest. And even the price point for buying a pair of these dumbbells is almost the same as one XF short bar. Now, what we're going to do today is just to see how much disc we can load on one side, okay, and see whether or not you can get 40 kgs in total. I just have to say that I don't have enough IPF discs to actually load the dumbbell. I only have a pair of 5 kg. So for the purpose of this video, I am just going to use the IWF rubber coated disc instead. Okay. In terms of the Volcano discs, I'm not too sure whether I don't have those as well in the showroom, but I'm not too sure if they are slimmer or thicker than the IWF rubber coated disc. But for the IPF disc, is thinner than the IWF rubber coated disc. So what that means is that you probably can load more IPF discs onto this dumbbell, as opposed to the IWF rubber coated disc. Now let me just show you the difference before we move on. So I have here on my right is the IPF disc, and on my left is the IWF rubber coated disc. Now if I put them side by side, and hopefully you can see the difference, the IPF disc is so much, it's less thick than the IWF rubber coated disc. Okay, but again, for the purpose of this video, what I'm going to do is just use the IWF rubber coated disc, because that's the ones that I have the most of. Also, before we move on, if you buy the set, you are going to get 2 pairs of the lockjaw collar, and I have to say that you need to get a really good collars if you want to use this loadable dumbbell with, because once the weight gets too heavy, you need a collar that can hold the weight on the dumbbell and not let it slip. So let's go ahead and load this dumbbell. So this is what I'm going to do. Okay, just have to reach down and grab the other plates. So that's 10 kgs, and this is 15 kgs. Okay, so as you can see, there's still room for plates. However, if you were to put the lockjaw collar, let's see what happens. All right, so as you can see, there's just a slight space left for on the sleeves. Okay, and I suppose if you add the plates on the other side, so the total weight that you're going to get is probably about 35-36 kg, including the collar. Okay, but let's see what happens if you put the 2.5 kgs, which should bring the total up to 40 kgs, right? So that's the 2.5, the IWF rubber coated disc, and the collar. So the collar now protrudes out from the sleeves. Okay, let me see if I can show this clearly, right? So you can see if I stick my finger in this, there's about probably 1 centimeter, 1.5 centimeters of collars sticking out. Is it safe? Let me just flip this and see whether or not. You see, this is why you need a really good collar. Okay, see, yeah, collar is still there. That should answer your question. If you buy the rubber coated IWF disc, this is what you should expect. Let me just show you what happens when you use the IPF disc. You should get a lot more weight. Well, not a lot more weight on the dumbbell, but you should have some space left on the sleeves. Okay, so let me just take the IWF 2.5 kg disc, and let me just put it on here. Okay, and the collar, let me get it all the way in. All right, so if with the IPF disc 2.5 disc, the collar is still sticking out, but it's probably, I would say, 1 centimeter or less that's coming out of the sleeves. So it's definitely much better than if you were to load it with the IWF 2.5. Now let me show you something else. If I use the IPF 5 kg disc, And I think this is where you can see the difference. Okay, that's the IWF, and this is the, sorry, this is the IPF disc, 5 kg and 2.5 kg. Now, just by changing the two discs, what we get is the lockjaw is almost flush with the end of the loadable dumbbell's sleeve. Okay, so you can imagine if I change these two IPF, these two IWF discs out with the IPF, you'll get more space, and I think that's just reassuring whenever you have, whenever you are loading this kind of weights. Okay, so in conclusion, I would say that by buying the set, you can load the dumbbell up to 40 kgs, including the dumbbell itself. Remember, the dumbbell is 5 kg each. All right. However, I think now it's just a matter of personal preference, personal choice. Reason is, of course, usually, or from what I've seen, a lot of people would just, when they're curling and they're doing their heavy set, what they do, they'll just throw and dump the dumbbell. Now, as you know, if you are doing it with the IPF disc, which is steel, right, that's not going to be good, right? You probably feel safer throwing down the IWF disc, which is rubber coated, right? So that's a choice that you have to make. If you're someone who's not an aggressive lifter, you probably just set it down nicely. But if you are an aggressive lifter, then you need to ask yourself whether or not you want to buy the IPF disc instead of the IWF. Okay. With regards to the Volcano disc, they're also rubber coated, and in fact, the Volcano disc dumbbell is actually from using Volcano rubber disc. Okay, and we showed that before in our review of our Eleiko dumbbells. Okay, now the last thing that I want to talk about on this dumbbell is that it's actually the length, right? I mean, at lower weights, at heavy weights, it's not big of a difference. Okay, let me show you a comparison between the length of, let's see if you want to load 40 kgs. Now I only have the 30 kg XF dumbbell, so I'm going to bring it up here and then compare the length. Okay. Oh, my bad. I actually have the 40 kgs. So this is the 40 kg XF dumbbell, hex dumbbell. So if you see the length, if I can, from eyeballing it, it seems that the grip length is similar. And I think it's the same with all the other dumbbells as well. But in terms of the length, you can see here, it's almost the same at 40 kgs. Okay. Now, this is the XF dumbbell, but I've got the heavier Volcano disc dumbbell right here, and let's just compare this length with I'll take the 45 kgs because that looks a bit longer. All right, let's see. I'm sweating. Okay, so over here we have the Volcano disc, the Eleiko Volcano disc dumbbell, 45 kg. Okay, and if I put it right there, again, just by eyeballing it, it looks like the grip for the loadable dumbbell is slightly longer, just slightly. And I don't know whether you can see from the video, this is it's thicker than the loadable dumbbells. I can't remember the diameter for this, but in any case, in terms of the length, as you can see, even at 45 kgs, if you use the volcano disc, it's shorter than the loadable dumbbells. I think the problem would be at lighter weights. So at heavy weights, it's pretty much the same, right? So you wouldn't experience something radically different when you lift, right? Now, let me just set this down. Now, at lower weights, hindering your movements a little bit. If I were to do a press, you know, I suppose, let's say, the best way is just to show you. Wait, hold on. So, okay, I have here the Evo dumbbell, 12 kg. So as you can see, the difference in length, right? So if you were to load up to 12 kgs on this loadable dumbbell, you are getting that much more length, right, on each side. So it might not be, let's say, if I were to pick this up, I have to have a bit of a distance between the dumbbell and my, I have to bring my forearm out a little bit with the loadable dumbbell, but as opposed to the Evo dumbbells right here, right? So I guess you have to get used to it, the length. Obviously, the longer the dumbbell, the center of gravity is affected by it, right? And it's more like a balancing act as well when you're using this with smaller, lighter weights. I suppose the reason why you want to get a loadable dumbbell is so that you don't have to invest in all this, right? So it just saves a lot of space, but with a minor inconvenience when loading and unloading the weights. But that's a decision that you have to make. I don't think this is going to sell in a lot of commercial gyms because they can probably afford a proper dumbbell sets. But for home use, especially when space is very limited, this is why the dumbbell was created, right? So it's compact, it's well built, it has the typical Eleiko quality and feel to it, and overall, even though the price of a pair of this loadable dumbbell is, like I said, similar to the XF short bar, and if you buy the plates, if you buy the sets, is going to be quite pricey. I mean, let's not kid ourselves, right? It is Eleiko, but what you end up buying is actually the whole range of what you see here. That's probably worth the money that you're probably going to invest in this loadable dumbbell. Well, that's all I have to say about this. If you have any questions about it, please let me know in the comment section below. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope that I've answered all the questions that you might have about the loadable dumbbell. And if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. And if you're new here, please subscribe to the channel. We do appreciate it. We do appreciate your support. And please don't forget to turn on the notification button. I guess that's it for this Zealfit TV episode. Again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next Zealfit TV episode, inshallah. See you guys.